Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button because we stay serving the tea. Ice Cube just dropped a bombshell about why Angel Reese won't be getting that same $5 million Big 3 offer that Caitlyn Clark received, and the internet is absolutely losing it. We're talking about corporate sponsors, league impact, and some serious questions about fairness in women's basketball. So last year, Ice Cube and his Big 3 league made headlines when they offered Caitlyn Clark a massive $5 million deal to join their 3-on-3 basketball league. We're talking about $5 million for just 8 regular season games and potentially 2 playoff games. For context, WNBA players make around $76,000 as rookies, so this was literally life-changing money. The offer would have made Caitlyn the first woman to play in the Big 3, and honestly, it would have been historic. But Caitlyn turned it down, choosing to focus on her WNBA career with the Indiana Fever instead. And honestly, girl was smart about it, because she ended up making around $11 million in endorsements anyway. But still, that $5 million offer had everyone talking about how the Big 3 was willing to invest in women's basketball. Now fast forward to this week, and TMZ caught up with Ice Cube at LAX, asking if Angel Reese might get a similar offer, and his answer has everyone pressed. So here's where it gets messy, and I mean really. When TMZ asked Ice Cube if Angel Reese would get that same $5 million offer, he basically said hell no. And the reasoning he gave? Girl, it's causing all kinds of drama online. Ice Cube straight up told TMZ, "I don't think we can make that same offer because it won't have the same impact to the league." He explained that corporate sponsors were willing to throw money at the Big 3 if Caitlyn joined, but they didn't tell us the same thing about Angel Reese. Pause. Let me break this down because people are heated about this response. Ice Cube is basically saying that Angel Reese doesn't have the same marketability or sponsor appeal as Caitlyn Clark, and honey, that has opened up a whole can of worms. He made it clear that it's all about the dollars and cents, not about Angel's talent as a player. He even said she's a great player, but that the financial backing from sponsors just isn't there like it was for Caitlyn. The internet is divided on this, and I can see why. Some people are like, business is business, while others are calling this out as problematic for reasons we need to talk about. Now, we have to address the elephant in the room because this comparison between Caitlyn and Angel has been brewing for years. These two have been compared since their college days. The Iowa versus LSU rivalry, the different playing styles, the different fan bases. And let's be real, there have been some underlying tensions about race, media coverage, and marketability that people don't always want to talk about openly. Caitlyn Clark is absolutely massive in terms of popularity and marketing appeal. Her games broke viewership records, she brought new fans to women's basketball, and brands are throwing money at her left and right. But Angel Reese is no slouch either. This girl just won the championship with Unrivaled, she's got a signature shoe deal with Reebok, she's on the cover of NBA 2K26, and she's putting up numbers on the court, 13.8 points and 12.5 rebounds. The thing is, corporate America seems to value different things when it comes to marketability, and that's where this gets complicated. Some people are pointing out that Caitlyn appeals to a certain demographic that sponsors love, while Angel might not get that same corporate love despite being equally talented. And that's what has people upset about Ice Cube's comments. Here's where I need to be real with y'all about the business side of this. Ice Cube is running a business, okay? The Big 3 needs sponsors and investors to survive. And if sponsors are telling him that Caitlyn Clark would bring in massive returns, while Angel Reese wouldn't generate the same financial impact, then from a pure business standpoint, I get it. Corporate sponsors base their decisions on data viewership numbers, social media engagement, demographic appeal, all that stuff. And unfortunately, those numbers might favor certain players over others for reasons that go beyond just basketball talent. But here's the other side that people are heated about. When corporate sponsors consistently undervalue certain athletes, especially Black women athletes, it creates a cycle where those players never get the opportunities to prove their marketability. Like, how can Angel Reese show her league impact if she never gets the same opportunities? It's like saying, prove you can sell tickets, but never giving someone the platform to actually sell tickets. And this is bigger than just basketball, y'all. This is about how women's sports get valued, how certain athletes get marketed, and who gets to benefit from the growing popularity of women's basketball. Now, Angel Reese hasn't publicly responded to Ice Cube's comments yet, but honestly, she doesn't need to, because her success is speaking for itself. While Ice Cube is out here saying sponsors don't see the same value in her, Angel is out here securing the bag in other ways. She just helped lead Rose BC to the unrivaled championship and got a $50,000 bonus on top of her base salary. Plus, she's got that Reebok signature shoe deal, the NBA 2K26 cover, and she's absolutely killing it on the court with the Chicago Sky. This girl is proving that she doesn't need the Big Three's validation to be successful. And honestly, maybe this is a blessing in disguise for Angel. The Big Three might not see her value, but clearly other brands and leagues do. Sometimes when one door closes, bigger and better opportunities open up. Angel has always been about building her own path and not depending on anyone else's approval. She's shown time and time again that she can create her own opportunities and her own success. But let's zoom out and talk about what this really means for women's basketball as a whole. This whole situation highlights some of the ongoing challenges that women athletes face, especially when it comes to getting equal opportunities and equal pay. We're seeing growth in women's basketball, but we're also seeing that not all players benefit equally from that growth. The fact that Ice Cube was willing to offer Caitlyn $5 million shows that there is money in women's basketball and that investors are starting to take notice. But the fact that Angel wouldn't get the same consideration raises questions about who gets to benefit from this investment. And look, I'm not trying to pit these two players against each other because they're both amazing and they both deserve success. But this situation shows that we still have work to do in terms of creating equal opportunities for all women athletes. The WNBA is working on increasing salaries in their next collective bargaining agreement, which is great. But situations like this show that we need sponsors and leagues to value all talented players, not just the ones who fit a certain marketable image. And honey, the internet has thoughts about this whole situation. Twitter is absolutely going off with people defending Angel and calling out the disparity in how these two players are being treated. Some fans are pointing out Angel's accomplishments and questioning why sponsors don't see her value. Others are defending Ice Cube, saying he's just being honest about the business realities and that he can't force sponsors to invest in players they don't want to back. There's also a whole conversation happening about media coverage and how certain players get promoted while others don't. People are asking if this is about basketball talent or if there are other factors at play. Some fans are even calling for boycotts of the Big Three, while others are saying Angel is better off without them anyway. The reactions are intense, and they're really showing how passionate people are about fairness and— Okay, so here's my honest opinion on this whole mess. First, I think Ice Cube was being honest about the business realities, but the way he said it could have been better. Like, you don't have to throw shade at Angel to explain your business decisions. Second, I think this highlights some real problems with how corporate sponsors value athletes. If Angel Reese isn't getting the same opportunities despite being incredibly talented, then we need to ask why that is. But honestly, I think Angel is going to be fine. This girl has shown over and over that she doesn't need anyone's validation to succeed. She's building her own empire and creating her own opportunities. Maybe the Big Three missing out on Angel Reese is their loss, not hers. Sometimes when people don't see your value, it just means they're not the right opportunity for you anyway. And at the end of the day, Both Caitlyn and Angel are winning in their own ways, and that's what matters most. So what happens next in this whole situation? Well, Angel will probably continue killing it in the WNBA and with her other endorsement deals. She doesn't need the big three to prove her worth. The big three will continue with their current roster and their current business model. Whether they're missing out on a huge opportunity with Angel remains to be seen. And hopefully, this whole situation will spark some important conversations about fairness and equal opportunities in women's sports. Maybe corporate sponsors will start to rethink how they evaluate women athletes. The WNBA is also working on increasing player salaries, which could make situations like this less relevant in the future. If WNBA players are getting paid what they deserve, they won't need to consider alternative leagues as much. All right, y'all, that's all the tea I have for you today on this Ice Cube and Angel Reese drama. What do you think about this whole situation? Do you think Ice Cube was right to be honest about the business realities? Or do you think Angel Reese deserves the same opportunities as Caitlyn Clark? Are corporate sponsors being fair in how they evaluate women athletes? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I know y'all have strong opinions about this. Are you Team Angel, Team Business Reality, or somewhere in between? Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on because this story is definitely going to keep developing, and you know I'll be here to break down all the drama as it happens. Also, let me know what other women's basketball drama you want me to cover. Your girl is always ready to serve up the sports tea. Until next time.